Today, we're diving into one of the most profound concepts in theology, the glory of God. What does that even mean, really? And why is it so central to so much of human thought? Let's dig into what this source material has to say.
Right off the bat, we're hit with a really powerful idea. This verse tells us that God's glory isn't something new. It's an ancient reality, a state of being that existed with the Father before the world existed. So this glory, it predates creation itself. It's eternal.
And right there, that's the central question. If God is eternally, infinitely glorious, and totally perfect, why does all of creation, including us, need to give glory to Him? I mean, what could a finite being possibly add to an infinite creator? This question is really the key that unlocks this entire topic.
To answer that, the text first has to define the absolute nature of this glory, and, well, it's probably not what you're expecting.
Okay, so here's the core idea from the source. Nothing we do can add to or take away from God's essential glory. It doesn't matter if creatures exist or not, if we worship or not, that glory remains completely unchanged, totally whole.
Let's break that down. The source describes this glory as eternal and infinite. No beginning, no end. It's so perfect, there's no room for improvement, and it exists completely outside our concepts of time and space. And here's the most crucial part for our question. Our worship does not increase it one bit. It is perfectly, totally self-sufficient.
The key to understanding this paradox lies in the fundamental difference the text draws between the creator and the creature. They're presented as being in two completely different categories of existence.
First, let's just look at being itself. On one side, you have the creator, who is completely self-sufficient, and on the other, you have the creature, who is totally dependent. According to the text, the creator simply is, while the creature, well, it can cease to be.
This distinction gets even sharper when you bring in the idea of time. The creator stands outside of time, holding time itself in existence. But creatures, people like us, we are completely bound by it. We only exist inside its flow. We can never step outside of it.
And this division goes all the way to the question of visibility. The source describes the creator as inherently invisible, dwelling in a light so brilliant it's called unapproachable. Creatures are visible, sure, but they can't see the essence of the creator directly. This creates what seems like a massive, uncrossable gap.
So if God's glory is perfect, and there's this huge gap between us, we're back to our original question. Why worship? And it's right here that the source gives an answer that completely flips our perspective.
This is where our common assumptions get turned upside down. The text argues that the command to worship isn't for God's benefit at all. It's for our benefit. It's a function that is absolutely essential for the well-being of the creature.
To understand why, let's look at what happens without it. According to the source, a creature that doesn't worship tries to be its own source, to exist for itself. But since it's inherently dependent and incomplete, it tries to fill its own lack by taking from other creatures. And this inevitably leads to a world of conflict, suffering, and destruction.
So then, worship gets a whole new definition. It's not the act of giving something to God that He lacks. Instead, it's the channel through which we, the dependent creatures, receive what we lack, life, love, purpose, from the only self-sufficient source. It's through this that creatures can stop taking and start giving.
But this creates a new problem. If the creator is invisible and unapproachable, how can a creature ever connect with and worship Him? The text offers a startling solution. The creator himself bridged that gap.
The problem is clear. A creature simply cannot withstand the direct presence of this infinite glory. The light is unapproachable, the creator is unseen. From our end, a direct connection is impossible.
And here's the solution. The text explains that the creator solved this problem not by changing the creature, but by changing himself. He emptied himself to cross that uncrossable gap.
He became a creature. In the person of Jesus, the Word became flesh. The infinite took on the form of the finite. The unseen glory finally appeared in a way that creatures could actually see without being destroyed. That unapproachable light was translated into a human face.
And this brings us to the climax of this whole line of thought. If the Creator's glory was made visible through Jesus, what was its highest, clearest expression? The answer is probably the most paradoxical part of this entire thing.
Was it a display of cosmic power? A glorious throne? According to this source, it's something else entirely. It's found in what appears to be the moment of greatest weakness.
The text says that the absolute pinnacle of divine glory is the cross.
It's the moment when the completely self-sufficient Creator who needs nothing gives everything for His dependent creatures who need everything.
This one act contains the very essence of God's glory. It is the ultimate expression of self-giving love. The Creator Himself shows that true greatness isn't in being served, but in serving, not in overwhelming power, but in sacrifice. And ultimately, this is the act that enables creatures to receive love so that they can love one another.
So that's where we land. What we've looked at today completely turns our understanding of glory and power on its head. It shows that the highest glory isn't found in being served, but in serving. Not in taking, but in giving. And if this is true, then we really have to rethink everything we thought we knew about what it means to be truly powerful.